Welcome back to the 30-day lead challenge, and in this video what we're going to do is walk through step-by-step how to set up a Facebook ad for buyer leads if you do not have a listing. Now, this one also has absolutely crushed it for the agents that we've gone through and worked with. And so I'm going to have the copy and paste Facebook ad template, this exact copy right here, right below this video, so you can copy and paste it for your own use. Now, once again, before we dive into the actual ad setup, I just want to make sure that you are fully connected to Facebook with your chat account, which if you've gone through all the previous videos, you have already done this, but let's just jump in and refresh. So come over here to settings, click on integrations, and then right here on the Facebook, make sure that you have your ad account selected, okay? And so selecting that ad account, it'll be able to automatically pull all of the leads into your contacts, your CRM database right here, and then we can automatically follow up with all these leads without having to do any manual upload, import, export with Facebook Ads Manager. Okay, so now that we've done that, we want to come over here to our Facebook Ads Manager, and we're going to create a new Facebook ad campaign by clicking on Create right here. And we're going to do a lead generation objective because we're going for leads. We're going to click continue. And then right here on the campaign name, we're going to call this the Buyer Leads 30-Day Challenge Demo. Right, now you can call this whatever you want, but just know it's just for easy reference for going back and looking at what your ad campaigns are. So for the special ad category, we want to select housing. And then everything else on here, we can just leave as is, and we're going to click on next. And so now we're going to create the ad set. So the ad set is where we're going to choose who we're going to actually target, our audience, our budget, our ad scheduling, everything from A to Z there. So we can give this a name. I'm just going to leave this as is. Then we're going to skip over this. And any part through these trainings that I'm skipping over is because you don't need to go through and make any edits or tweaks. Okay, so just leave it as is. So the Facebook page, just make sure that you chose your Facebook business page. And if you have not accepted the terms of use for that Facebook business page, you need to go through and just select that right there, which I've already done. And then coming down here for our daily budget, just like on the other ad campaigns, I usually start out with a minimum of $10 per day. That's when the Facebook ad algorithm really starts to kick in. If you have a larger budget and you'd like to go through and invest more into your advertising, then you can easily do that. The reason why you want to go through and invest more is because you actually generate more leads with larger budgets. So for example, let's say you're generating leads for $5 per lead and you have a $10 per day budget. More than likely, you're going to get roughly 2 leads per day. Now, some days you might get 1 lead, some days you might get 3 leads, some days you might get 2, but on average, it's going to be about 2 leads per day. Now, if you're getting $5 per lead and you have a $20 per day budget, obviously you're going to get twice as many leads, all right? So then for this example, the start date, I'm just going to leave this as is, just have it start immediately after we've gone through and created this. And then moving down to the audience of who we'd like to target, we're going to click on locations right here. And I always like to do on locations, people living in or recently in this location. I like to only do people living in this location. Because if they're recently in this location, it could be they were traveling there for work or something like that. And you don't necessarily want to go through and show your ad to all those people because it might not apply to them. So then as far as our targeting, we don't want to do the whole United States. You just want to do your specific city. So for this example, let's say that we live in Omaha, Nebraska. So we'll just type that in. You type whatever city you live in, obviously. And so we've got a 15-mile radius, which is the minimum by default. And so we've got a 650,000 potential reach, which, as I mentioned in previous videos, Facebook likes larger audiences. And so a larger audience is typically an audience larger than 100,000 people. And so this is good because now they're able to go through and use their algorithms and find out, okay, who are the people engaging with this ad, and find other people just like those people. So because of the special ad category and our restrictions with the special ad category, we have to leave the age open-ended as well as the gender, which honestly we have not seen a major impact on opening that up because it allows us to have the larger audience, which Facebook likes more anyway. Now coming down here for placements, I just leave this on automatic placements. So this will show up on Facebook as well as Instagram. You don't have to pay an extra $10 per day for Instagram. The $10 will go through and post that ad on both Facebook, Instagram, on all of the different sites that Facebook has access to. All right, and then coming down here, we'll just leave all this as is. We'll click on next, and this is where we're going to actually create the ad that people will see. All right, so we've got our Facebook business page selected right there. And if we want to show it on Instagram, you can either connect your Instagram account, or if you do not have an Instagram account or you don't really care to connect it, then it will just use the name of your Facebook business page as the name of your Facebook or Instagram profile, which that's typically what I do. All right. Now moving down here, the ad setup, we're going to create an ad. For the media, what I usually like to do is add an image of a home, the exterior of a home in my local area. So the reason why you want to do a home in your local area is because a home that is in Phoenix is going to probably look a lot different than a home that is in Portland, Oregon, or in Chicago or Omaha. So just make sure that it matches with the city where you live, right? So we're just going to come over here and we're going to add an image. And just for this example, we'll just use this one right here. This one looks like it's in Des Moines, Iowa, which who knows, it might be similar to the homes in Omaha, Nebraska. I do not know for sure, but this is just a demo. So now we're going to come over here and we're going to grab this text right there. We're going to copy it and we're going to paste it in the primary text right here. So just like in the previous video when we're creating the ads, we want to go through and space this out a little bit just for formatting and so that things look nice and pretty. Okay, so we're going to come over here, thanks, and then your name. And so attention, obviously if you're in Omaha, you'll want to put Omaha. Do you know anyone looking to buy a home? And then say, instead of follow here, because this was for kind of like a few years ago, we would send people to a landing page. But now, after all the data that we've been able to collect, we literally generated hundreds of thousands of real estate leads now. Facebook lead form ads work significantly better than a landing page. And there's a number of reasons why. We can get into that at a later time. But we're just going to say, click below for more info. Okay. And it says, we have compiled a free report for homes of homes for sale under 500,000. Okay, and I'm just going to put this same call to action down below right there. Now, as far as the free report of homes for sale, you could do this under 500,000, 600, 750, whatever kind of like the price range that you like to go through and work with. And so that will attract the type of client that you're wanting to work with, right? Because obviously, if you're going to go through and say for homes under 300,000, then it's going to be people that are like probably looking to get into their first home, like a starter home, right? Whereas if you come over here and put in something more like 850, depending on the area, that could be a really nice home, or obviously if you're in like Southern California, that's probably also a starter home, right? So some of these homes may even qualify for special financing programs. Click below for more info, thanks, and then you just put your name and signature right there, okay? So if you want to throw in your phone number, one thing that is powerful too is if you throw in your phone number that is connected to chat over here, so settings, and then we go over here to phone numbers, and this demo phone number, this local phone number that we set up right here. Then when somebody texts that, it'll automatically go into your streamlined inbox. If they call it, it'll forward to your number. If you miss the call, it'll send an automated missed call text back, just like we set up earlier. So there's a lot of powerful things you can do when you go through and use this phone number right there. So I would throw that in down below right there as well. Like as far as the headline goes, what we probably want to do is put something like, are you looking to buy a home in Omaha? Okay, because that kind of like stops people, piques their interest, like, okay, what's going on here? I want to check this out a little bit more. And then for the description, I just usually honestly leave this blank, display link blank as well, and then go to learn more, all right? And these are optional, even the headline's optional. However, the headline will show, as you can see right here, whereas the description doesn't always show. So I usually don't leave that, but like the headline, it's good to have a little something to pique people's interest as they're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram. Right now, as far as the form, we already created a lead form for our listing leads campaign in the last video. What we're going to want to do is have a separate lead form for people coming in through this buyer ad. All right. So we're just going to click on create form, and it's a very similar process to what we did before. We're going to say buyer leads. This name is only for your own use, so no one else is going to see this, but it's just so that you know what lead form you're referencing here. Okay. So we're just going to leave this on more volume. As far as the intro, usually I just say use the image from your ad, and then the headline, say, are you looking to buy a home in Omaha? And then say, get a free report or get a free list of homes under, and then whatever number you put, 500K in the area. So basically what I do here is I restate whatever my ad was saying. Because here's the thing, when somebody sees an ad and it piques their interest and they click on it, you want to restate whatever was just said, because whatever was just said got them to click. And so whatever was just said, if it's repeated, it will get them to continue on. So what we want to do is just keep everything flowing right here. So now let's go to questions right here. And like I said in the last video, I like to go full name, email, and then add a phone number, and then say enter contact information below. And sometimes I like to say enter best contact information below. And then for the privacy, we'll just do link text, say privacy policy, and then you'll add a link to the privacy policy on your website. And if you don't have a privacy policy on your website, what you can do is just throw in a link to your website, or even what I've seen work is a link to your Facebook business page right there. Okay, so then once you've done that, we're going to go through and say, okay, thanks, you're all set. You can just see an example of what this looks like over here. You can visit our website or exit the form now, and then the call to action, you have view website, download, or call business. Okay, so you got any of those. So if you want to just do view website, you can throw in a link to your website right there. All right, so then you just hit publish right here, and I'm just going to exit out of this. But what this will do is it would then bring up, you'd be able to select that as a lead form right there, and then you'd hit publish for the ad. Okay, so then I'll just kind of restate what I said in the prior listing ads or listing leads video, because this is really important. Is once you hit publish, it'll go through a review process with Facebook. Once they go through and say this ad is okay to run, it's going to start running immediately. All right. And then what you want to do is give it a minimum of 4 to 5 days before you determine a winner or a loser. Okay. So what that means is if you go and run this and by day 2, you still haven't generated leads for some reason, do not shut it off. Sometimes Facebook takes a few days for the algorithm to adjust so that people who are engaging with your ad to be able to show it to the right people. So usually after 4 to 5 days, you have a pretty good idea whether the ad is going to be working and converting and generating leads at a good cost for you. And so you want to let it go through and run for that initial time zone or that time period. If you turn it off and then you turn it back on, you basically have to start the whole ad over again, because it just throws off the Facebook ad algorithm. All right. Now, if you do have a larger budget, more like $50 per day, you could probably take that from a 4 to 5 day wait time to like 3 days, but still you want to give it some good time to know whether that ad is actually going to go through and it's going to be working and converting for you. Now, the great thing for you guys is that we've already done tests with all these ad templates. We have spent literally millions of dollars testing these different ads out. And so these are the best ads that we know will convert for you and your business. Okay, so now once we've gone through and done this, what we want to do over here is come over here to the chat, click on settings, and because we created a new Facebook lead form, we'll want to come over here to Facebook form fields mapping, and it will show all of our Facebook lead forms, and it'll show the new one that we just created. Now, obviously I didn't create it. This is a demo, so that's why it's not showing up right here. But for example, let's say this is the 123 Main Street. You'll come over here, go over here, click on map fields, and it'll pull in the first name, email, and phone number, hit save. And then all of the contacts coming through from there, they'll automatically flow into your contacts CRM database right here. And this will update on both your desktop as well as on your mobile app. And then in the next video, we'll show you how to create the automated follow-up to follow up with all these leads. So even if you're out and about at a showing, kids soccer game, you're just busy with family or friends or whatever, the follow-up is still taking place on autopilot for you. Okay, so we'll get into that in the next video. But by going through and syncing it with chat, all of your leads are going to go into the same place. So anyway, go ahead, get that set up, get that done. If you have any questions, reach out to support. And with that said, we'll see you in the next video.